When we have a discriminating thought in our mind, there's actually no need to pay special attention to it. If you truly have some level of spiritual attainment, however many judgments arise, you won't be particularly troubled by them. Whether you are simply practicing or just going about your daily life, discriminative thoughts, ordinary person, completely normal. Even when you are meditating, just sitting quietly, meditating for 10 minutes. The whole 10 minutes might be filled with wandering thoughts and you can't calm down at all. But if we truly, deeply, and completely understand these discriminating thoughts, in fact, they're not that frightening. It arises, ceases from causes and conditions. Recognize true nature, especially in Vajrayana Buddhism, they are also really not so scary. In the exoteric schools, if you realize selflessness, these thoughts can also be eliminated. Previously, in the wisdom chapter, it was also cited that desire and anger bring suffering. To end them, our greed and anger, sometimes overwhelming and persistent, arise in response to the merits and faults of external phenomena. When environment could develop attachment. It's not that it has them, it's that I believe it does. If I think something looks nice, I develop desire. If I think something looks ugly, I often develop an aversion toward it. If we want to eliminate these, for example, no external object or other phenomena, to eradicate these discriminating thoughts, we must realize that the object does not truly exist. There is truly no other possible way, no alternative at all apart from this. Therefore, whether we develop attachment or anger, whenever these discriminating thoughts arise, they should be recognized as a kind of deluded thinking in people. Essentially, believing that the object has merits or faults, and these thoughts arise. Actually, if we see that the object of our attachment has no inherent nature, as we perceive it, then what you previously considered good, or your attachment to it, will simply and completely disappear over time. What you previously considered bad, or as a source of harm, can also completely disappear. For example, if I used to think of a certain person as very bad, as an enemy I resented, then when I practice great compassion and the four immeasurables, among the four immeasurables, I am to see all sentient beings as my mother. So I visualize all sentient beings as my mother, and then my former enemy becomes exactly like my mother. At that moment, he is not hateful, but he becomes especially lovable. So sometimes we think separately. It is actually quite sudden. And in fact, it should be able to change. When we understand this, it's actually not particularly frightening when we have any kind of discriminating thoughts. Therefore, everyone should know discriminating thoughts arise from conditions. It is quite unexpectedly all of a sudden, when the nature is extinguished, when we have biased thoughts, if we observe them for a moment, we can immediately see that their essence does not exist permanent. It is like a dream, illusion, bubble, or shadow.